going on, family? Sip checking in, and welcome back to another Raptors video. Now recently the Toronto Raptors took on the Atlanta Hawks, and what a win for the Toronto Raptors, because based on this game and the win that the Raptors got, there are some definite conversations that need to be had about this team, especially given the fact that with this win against the Atlanta Hawks that happened recently, we are now on a 3-game winning streak, which is something that is definitely a positive for the Raptors, especially in this season being a rebuild season. So we're going to be breaking that down and more right away. So without further ado, let's get started. Now right off the bat, the first shout out we need to give is the Raptors bench, because man, oh man, did they play their heart out in this game. And quite frankly with you all, it wasn't just this game, it was all the games that we have played up to this point as of late. I'm talking against Golden State, I'm talking against the Boston Celtics, I'm talking about this game against the Atlanta Hawks, as well as the previous game that we also played against the Atlanta Hawks. In all of those 4 occasions, they have really stepped up and brought the energy on all sides of the court. I'm talking things like rebounding, making great passes, making good reads, especially on the defensive end, and everything else in between. Because honestly with you all, if the Raptors bench really didn't step up the way they did in those games, the conversation right now could be very different. And when I mean different, I mean not in a good different, more like a bad different, because there would have been much bigger changes that had to be taken drastically. However, since the bench stepped up, now those conversations will still happen, but there will be a little more breathing air in the environment, because we have the wins to back it up, so clearly something is going well. But with that being said though, some people may say that the bench production is a cause of the expiring contracts and things of that nature. And while they may be correct, I believe that is not the case, because for the Raptors, especially this season, as I said in previous videos, we are in year 1 of a rebuild. So the whole purpose of this year is supposed to be to develop the young players from the starters all the way to the bench. And to see the progress that they have made so far, especially from the bench perspective, it is really refreshing, because it gives so much optimism for the Raptors fans as well as the organization as they continue to make moves in the second half of the season coming up, as well as all the future seasons to come. So shout out to the Raptors bench for playing their hardest in this game, and hopefully they will continue to show more awesomeness in our future games to come. Now, speaking of the Raptors bench, there is one player on the Raptors bench that we need to shout out. And that player is Orlando Robinson, because based on what he did, given his circumstances being on a 10-day contract, you could really tell how much passion and how much he wants to be on this team. Because not only was he a defensive presence against a very formidable center like Clint Capella on the Atlanta Hawks, but number 2, he also got a mid-range shot, which is so huge for a center nowadays, because even though we have a traditional center like Jakob Poeltl who can do the grit and grindy and loves to be in that paint, to have another big that can stretch it out and really make it a little more challenging for the opponent to really get a read on him like Orlando Robinson does, it's a great breath of fresh air to have coming off the bench, because now the opportunities to score for this man is going to be very versatile, and he could get his shots at every single point of the game. Of course, with a lot more training and things of that nature to get his strength up and things of that nature. But also number 2, the game plans for the Raptors, especially on the offensive end, will definitely change, because they can look to this man also as a scoring option, which the Raptors definitely need going into future games, because the rest of the league in the NBA is desperately wanting wins, and we need to show them that the Raptors are no cakewalk, and you definitely need to earn your stripes against us to get those wins. So I am glad that Orlando Robinson has his moment to shine, and he delivered on all fronts today, because from what I saw with this man, if he continues to play like this and continues to get better with every practice, Not only do I believe he'll get another 10-day contract, but it's very well possible that he could sign for the remaining of the season. And let me tell you, as a Raptors fan, I would greatly appreciate that, because the more awesomeness and the more people that we have that are willing to work and show results for it, the better it is for the team, organization, and the fan base as a whole. So shout out to Orlando Robinson for his work today, or in this game, and hopefully he continues to make progress in the future games as well. Finally, shout out to Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett, because not much needs to be said about them in this game. They locked in this game and did whatever they needed to do to help the Raptors run away with this game on all sides of the court, whether that be on the offensive end, getting easy buckets, or being physical, or on the defensive end by being that help side defender, or being that main defender through the blocks and things of that nature. Either way, they stepped up and they really made their presence known throughout the whole game. And honestly, everyone, it's what do you expect from these two players, especially given the fact that they are cornerstone pieces to the Toronto Raptors, with Scotty Barnes being the franchise player. So you expect these type of performances on a regular basis from these players, and in this game they definitely did that and more. So shout out to them for that, and hopefully they continue to make strides in that direction going forward. So hopefully they continue to do this on a regular basis and not have more of those drop-offs that we kind of see, especially in the early stages of the season. So shout out to them for that, and let's see what they do in the future games as well against all their future teams and those formidable teams as well. So yeah, that wraps up my thoughts on this game between the Toronto Raptors and Atlanta Hawks. And as I said before, what a win for the Toronto Raptors, because these brothers work hard every single day, and to have wins like these where we just win any way possible, not only one does it show that the efforts and everything else that the Raptors have been doing is definitely fruitful, but number two, it just shows that we're going in the right direction. And as a fan of the Toronto Raptors, that is definitely very good to see, because at the end of the day, we're all going to want to pursue that championship. And even though we're in year one of a rebuild, to see these types of wins and see that the brothers are constantly getting better with every single day is just very good optimism to have going into future games and the future seasons as well, because I believe that through the different lessons and the way they're playing so far, they'll be able to adapt to any situation to the best of their ability and find some way to win one way or another. But with all that being said, let me know what you all thought about the game as well. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you feel as confident as I was of this game, especially given the fact that we're on a win streak, a 3-game win streak as of now, and everything else in between? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're interested in other Raptors content that I'm going to be bringing you or have brought you in the past, check out the playlist at the end of this video, because that will definitely show you the progress that the Raptors have made up to this point. So that would be a great place to really see the growth of the Raptors, especially in this season. So with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video, and until then, Civ signing out.